Hello everybody, welcome to one more session on YAML. In this particular session, we will do all the hands-on exercise that we have learned in all the sessions till now. We'll understand how to write comments about key value pairs, dictionaries, arrays, lists, and spaces. We will do all the hands-on exercises in this session. For that, let me flip to my Visual Studio Code. Now let's say I'm writing a simple YAML file. Okay, now let's say, let me do comments first. How to define a comment? We know that it would be with the help of a hash. This is demo for YAML. Now because I have given hash, this line of the code will not work. That is called as commenting. Now let me write a simple key value pairs. Okay, separated with a column. So in YAML, how do you do that? Let's say name, colon, space. Okay, like other languages where you have inverted commas, it's not required. Simple name, colon, and you have to give a space. Let's say age. Okay, and this is data type of what? Numbers. This is a data type of string. Okay, now let's say city, Hyderabad. Okay, this is how you can define simple key value pairs inside a YAML file. Okay, now let us see how to write a map file. Okay, now what is a map? Map will have multiple key value pairs, right? Let us say person. Okay, inside that we need to have a key pair, right? Now let's say I need to give an indentation. Let's say I'm giving one space, name, Satish, age, let's say 42, city. Okay, that is how we can define one map, or you can also call it as a dictionary. So inside this person, there are multiple attributes, name of the person, age of the person, city of the person. Okay, that is how you write a dictionary or a map. Now let us see how do we write array, or you can call it as a list. Okay, now let me comment this. Let's say, let me first create a dictionary. Let's say person, inside person, let's say name of the person. You see, I didn't give a space, so it is showing me error. Okay, name, age, city. Okay, now let's say I want to list the hobbies of the person as well. Now let's say hobbies. So there are big list of hobbies. Let's say, then how do I make a note of it? Now go here, inside that space. This is a list, right? If it is a list, we have to give hyphen space. Let's say cooking, teaching, cycling, etc. So now this is how you make a list. If it is a map, key value pairs, this is how it is. If it is a list, now you see inside a dictionary, all these are nothing but your map. Okay, till here it is map. Now because this parameter has lot of values, so it is we are going to create a list of that. How to create a list? This is how we create a list out of it. Okay. Let's say I want to create a multiple lists. Now, inside this, I have another parameter also. Let's say friends. Okay. If I have multiple friends and I know their name and age, how I can do? Let's say list, right? List means, let's say, name of the friend. So because it is a key value pair, again, it's a list as well as a key value pair. Let's say friend 1. Okay, now I know the age of this person also. Age, let's say 24. Now let's say friend 2, again it's a list, right? So I need to give a hyphen again, space, name, friend 2. Now age of this person, age, it's a key value pair again. Let's say 34. Okay. If I have another friend, again it hyphen. So basically what, this is a list also, or you can say this is multiple lists. Okay. That is how we define a multiple lists. So we understood how to write a key value pair, how to write a map, how to write a array and list. Now let us see how to use alias and anchors. Let me give a hash for commenting. Let's say alias, anchors and alias. Okay, now let's say I will define at the rate if I'm using, that means basically it is a anchor at the rate. I'll say person underscore anchor. I'm using an anchor here. Now let's say in this anchor, I'm defining a name and I'm defining age. Let me give a space here. And let's define the city. Okay, now we have created an anchor. Now let's say I want to use this anchor. Okay, now I'm giving some name by name employee. Okay, now I want to call this anchor that we have created. Then what we have to use? We have to use a hash trick and the name of this anchor. Okay, now hash trick and the name of this anchor. Now I'll be able to, so if I use this employee, it will take the values name, age and city automatically. That is how we can use aliases and anchor. Okay. Now let us write one Kubernetes. So basically, why do we use YAML files? Basically for configuration. Now let us write one simple configuration file. Then it will be easy for us to understand how we can use that. Now in a Kubernetes manifest file, there are basically four parameters. One is API version, second one is kind, third one is metadata, fourth one is, let's say, spec. Now this is the body of a Kubernetes manifest file, or you can say Kubernetes manifest YAML file. Now API version, it can be v1. Now there's a space, right? Or app slash v1. Now kind, what are you going, which object you're going to create? let's say I'm going to create a pod object. Now, what is the data type of this? This data type is string. So I'm just commenting it. Now, what is the data type of this? This is also string. So when you actually write code, there is no need for you to write this string and all. This is, I just want you guys to know that this is the data type of string. Now this metadata, what is the data type of this metadata? This is going to be dictionary. Okay. Now in the inside this, what we will use name. So if it is a dictionary, I have to give a space, right? Name, you have to give some name. Let's say I will give the name as my pod. So we need to give a space. And I can give a label to this object that I'm going to create. Okay, labels. Why do we use labels? If we want to do an internal configuration, we can do labels. And this labels also, because I can give multiple labels, this is also again another dictionary. Okay, now inside this labels, I'll name it as app. I'll name the app as my first app. Okay, if you want, I can give multiple labels here. I will say this is a dev app. Okay, now what is the last one? The last object is a spec. Spec stands for specifications. Now inside the container, what I want to create? I want to create a, sorry, inside this pod, this is a pod object, right? Inside the pod, I want to create a container. Now what container will have multiple attributes, right? So what that will become? That will become a list. First of all, I want to name the container, let's say my new container, some random name, and I want to mention the image. So there will be a space here. After hyphen, there should be a space. Okay, image name, we can mention the image name, sample image. Let's say now ports. I want to give a again the list of ports. If it is a list of ports, again we know hyphen container port colon 80. Okay, this is a very simple YAML manifest file. Now if you see that, now this is a string data type, this is also string, this is dictionary. Dictionary means what? There are multiple key value pairs. So here we just have one, and inside this metadata I have labels. Labels is another dictionary item. Now this container specification, this is a list item. If it is a list, there should be a hyphen. Okay, that is how you can in real time use this YAML language to write configuration files. Right now, let us say there is lot of there you will have lot of JSON files, or let's say JSON configuration files. Now you might have to convert JSON files to YAML files. Okay. Now there is a simple converter JSON to YAML. Let us have a look into that. Let's go to my browser. Now let's say this is our JSON to YAML file. Now let's say let's write a simple JSON file. I will say name. So here in JSON file, right, you have to give inverted commas, comma, enter, age. Okay, this file is closed. Now you see this one, if you have to convert into YAML, you can, it will come like this. So it is very simple, right? Very readable language. Now let's say we have written one list, right? Let us see. Okay, let's go here. I don't know whether it will convert rewards or not. Okay, it will not convert rewards. So now let's say, let me give that in a different way. Oh yeah, it did. Now if you see here, specifications, we have containers. Inside that new containers, images, right? You see under specific, you see this is one block of code. Okay, now this is, in this container, it's a list, right? You see list is determined by square brackets. Okay, so if you look this code, this is very complicated, right? But YAML, it is very easy to understand with the help of indentations. Okay, that is the beauty of this YAML language. Now you see in this there are container, there are multiple items. So it is showing the key value pairs in this particular block of the code. Okay, that is how you can convert. If you have any JSON configuration files, if you want to convert into YAML files, still you can go ahead and do that. All right, that's all I have for this session, guys. You guys have a good time. Take care.